Good day, everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for another day today, and thank you for the opportunity to be here. Thank you so much for your grace and your mercy and your kindness and your goodness to me, and I thank you for all of your blessings. I ask that you give me and anyone that else is here trading, that you grant us wisdom and discernment and skillful hands in the markets. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, I'm just trying to. Okay, yeah, I've got the internet here, right? Oh, today's Thursday? Oh, man. Can't believe it's Thursday. 25 minutes ago, Bank of England's Bailey says disinflation is on track, ahead of schedule, expected in November. We've got main refinancing rate and monetary policy statement in 15 minutes. And then unemployment claims, ECB press conference at 8:45. Man, this is going to be a good session. Jolt's job openings at 10 a.m. I just can't believe it's Thursday. I forgot this time in the week already. Just flying by. All right, let's go look at the charts. So let's pull up that daily. I'm going to just clear the charts up. And I know I had a bunch of lines on that one spot, but those were this line that we're at, right? So today is going to be one of those days where we pick a direction out of here, I think. So we're at a really important, critical spot right now in the market. And we've got a low made in the past couple of days at 1.178 is our number to beat for the downside. And then we've got a little bit of consolidation above overhead, kind of in the 1.183 is our kind of our zone to get out of, which I think almost certainly we will do that today. So that's our consolidation area. And which way we will go, I do not know. But I am gonna already, I need to, well, I want to start trading, but I need to put my value in for our starting balance at 10, 232.04. Live starting balance. All right, I'm just already going to get into a sell. And I may widen my stop losses for this news. I want to be just a little outside of that pivot over here. And then, so I'm going to get that out of here. Good morning, Larry. So good to have you this morning. It's going to be a good session today. All the news. $183. And I'm just going to widen my stops just for now out to 50 pips. I'm going to bump my take profits up to 3. And that is just to accommodate the volatility that we're likely going to get into. And then once and if I find that the market is kind of relaxing or finding its groove, might shrink the variables back down. But for now, I just want to start a little bit wider so that I don't just get smoked with one big candle that just spikes and just comes right back. But we may just find that maybe the market takes off in one direction. I really don't know what's going to happen. So it just took a little profit. Good way to start the morning. And I'm just double checking what's at 8:15 in just a few minutes. We've got a monetary policy statement in 7 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay, this is going to be a fun morning. So down to the 1 minute chart, got lots of action, great volatility. Got this little range in here of about 12 pips. I'm going to just go long because I really have no idea. I don't have a clue as what's going to happen. So apologize if I run right into stop losses in a few minutes. If that's the case, we'll just take the hit and then reevaluate and keep trading. After take a little breather and then see what happens. If this just runs straight into my stop losses, we'll find a way to keep trading after. It's no problem. So I just want to see, yeah, okay. All right. Big news in 7 minutes and at the bottom of the hour. Yep. It's going to be a good morning. Got your pull up those trading stocks and get ready to go. Do you have trading stocks on, Larry? See, that target would have hit my 2 pip take profit, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave things a little bit wider. Trade a little bit slower to start things out. The trading floor manager is here. Got to supervise on a day like today. We are just traveling in the, I'm in Canada, in the Toronto, Ontario area, and so we're just traveling in a pretty familiar town to us, Collingwood, Ontario. It's a nice little tourist town. There's a nice ski hill here, and some cideries and breweries. And the lake is here. It's right on Georgian Bay, which is just one of the cleanest bodies of water on the Great Lakes. It's super nice. It is one of my favorite places. Just took another profit. And just a few minutes away. When I got here, I thought it was still Wednesday. So I was kind of surprised to see that it was Thursday this morning when I pulled up Forex Factory. You're in Wisconsin, just east of Milwaukee, 25 miles. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got a cousin in Wisconsin. You love the water. I love the water. I don't know. It's just definitely just feels like home when I'm at the water. Okay, the price is shrinking, just starting to contract. If it drops, I'm going to get into another buy. But at the moment, it's just stuck in the middle of this range. Okay, I'll buy that. And that just fits in there pretty nicely, that trade take profit. I think at the moment, if I had to pick a side, I think I might stay on the buy side a little bit, but I'm not sticking to that strongly at all because I don't have to pick a side. I'm just saying if I did have to pick one, I would probably pick the buy side. Grew up in central Michigan and lived on the water and dad owned farm equipment dealership. Oh, nice. So are you in the business then too? Did you keep up the farm equipment? News is in 1 minute. It's going to be pretty big, I think. I'm going to buy this one last shot right before the news here. Oops. Sorry, there we go. Okay, I'm going to zoom out a little. No, just let it go. I just feel like I might need to zoom out in just a moment. Here comes the participants. And with this news, I'm just going to be kind of slowly scattering my trades as price goes. It's just going to be, it's going to be hard to find good
support and resistance points on the short term once it starts moving quick. So I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. We'll just start scattering the trade slowly. There's a profit hit. Oh, so you hung on to the business for a while. Had to pay $1,000 a day just to open the doors. And an employee got it. Did you enjoy the time, or was it getting to be a little bit much, just having to run the business and costing too much maybe, or just time to move on? Second target hit. Oh, you love the CPA practice. It's good to keep going with the things you like. I'm going to buy on this pullback. I'm going to buy this one. So those stop losses, I'm on the 1 hour chart to zoom out to have a look. Those stop losses are right on a line that I would trade at. If it were to drop down fast, I would probably want them just outside of that. And I'm going to put a line on the chart right in here. 1.4, okay, 175. Call that right there. 1.175. That's a good stopping point if it's going to head down in a hurry. Just want to keep my eyes on that. And then to the upside, if we've got a big run to the upside, we can maybe $1.195 would be a good spot right in there. And then, all right, hidden profit target. $199. There's a couple levels on the top side. Unemployment claims in 10 minutes. Gonna buy this again. So the main refinancing rate just stayed at 2.15%, which was expected. See what happens with unemployment. Oh, you had a John Deere dealership, but the prime rate killed a lot of dealerships, broke. Just hit another profit target. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 targets hit already. That's a good sign. And hit nicely. That 3 pip target was lined up really well. Getting my finger on the trigger. If it pops down, get into another buy. I'm gonna just take a small profit on this one and then just reset with wait for a pullback again, just because that one is kind of at the end of that mini consolidation spot. So I'm just gonna take the profit. Oh, and it popped up immediately after I took that. That's okay. Okay, yeah, there's the action. Pop down. 5 minutes. Are you getting into the market with some of these trade, with some of the volatility, or are you going to wait for the market to go through its expansion phase first? Because we should see a pretty big expansion. Just a few minutes. 3 minutes. Oh, nice. Vin just got home. You think he's gonna join us? Oh, Vin just also texted me. Okay, a minute, just less than a minute to unemployment claims. Okay, here we go in 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Starting to push pretty strong to the upside. I'm gonna just start taking the pullbacks in there. Not so good for the dollar.
Unemployment claims are up. Yeah, it's not so good for the dollar. I'm wondering if people just still want to wait for the ECB press conference and not take this anywhere yet, because it's kind of just stuck here for the moment. Okay, I'm gonna buy that pullback. Gonna buy that pullback. Definitely leaning towards buying after seeing that dollar news. Profit target hit.
Another target hit. And another target hit. All right, just wait for a pullback. Then we got the ECB press conference in a few minutes. That should get things going. And then a little bit later, we've got Bank of Canada Governor Macklem. It's at 12:25 Eastern. And it's a New Zealand bank holiday today. Not sure what holiday it is for them. And then much later during the maintenance hour at 5:30 p.m. is the Royal Bank of Australia. Governor Bullock speaks. And then we've got President Trump at 7 p.m. tonight. So I might see good volatility into this evening. It's going to be a good day. All right, going to buy this pullback. Stop blabbing and start trading. Five minutes to the ECB press conference.
I'm thinking we should see some pretty big swings during that press conference. Kind of surprised it hasn't been a little bit bigger moves already, but I think in a few minutes that will change. Market's trying to make a 3-bar reversal here. And we got a 1-minute bar closing in favor of the upside. And target hit. That's number 11. 11 for 11. But, well, that's probably going to change here in a few minutes. How's your trading going today, Larry? Are these good conditions for you? Might see a little mini head and shoulders come into the market right in here. See if that actually sends the market down or if it doesn't really care about it. Another push down and I can buy it. All right. Well, the press conference should have started. So watch out for some big moves. Okay, a little push deeper. I can get into the buy. Right there. Another target hit. About $12 in the account already today. It's a really good start. Okay, pull back. I'm going to just buy that. See if we test that old high from a few minutes ago. And another target hit. Gonna buy it again.
Yeah, I feel like the ECB press conference will get this market going. I feel like it's got to. Another target hit. Really good start to the morning. Just gonna buy that little pullback. I know we're at the top of this spot, but that's okay. We're holding above this high from back here now, and it's pressing upward. So I will just keep going with that. The trend seems to be pressing up. Another target hit. Gonna buy it again. Hey Vin, good to see ya. Glad you can make it in. I think you're in perfect time for some good market moves. We haven't seen it really do too much yet, but we've made some good profits on the movements that we've had. Okay, if it dips down more, I'm going to buy it again. Buy that. That target gets in right at the old high from just a minute ago. That's a good spot. And another target hit. Just in sync with the little moves right now, which is great. But it's still not moving a ton yet. Still expecting to see some much bigger moves.
Gonna buy this dip. Puts the target in decent spot again. Oh, gonna buy that, but I didn't get the bottom. It's okay. Buy this. Kind of feels like a bigger leg is about to show up. And we're on the top of the hour. Targets hit. Here we go. Gonna buy that. Somebody's saying something important. Gonna buy that. Buy that. Target hit. More targets hit. Buy that. Another target hit. Another target hit and another one. Nice. Gonna get ready to buy again on the pullbacks. Gonna buy here. Gonna buy that. Target hit. Another target hit. Nice. Just in sync with it this morning. This is great. These 3-pip. Oh yeah, Vin, if you're, I forgot to mention, I bumped up my targets to 3 pips, and then I bumped out my stop losses to 50 pips. So I just widened things out just in case we see some bigger swings. I didn't want to get hit by just a swing that's, 30, 40 pip, huge move. So just giving you a heads up, wider variables at the moment. Yeah, no problem. I think it's something I like to do when we're seeing bigger moves come in, big volatility on news days like this. I like to start with bigger variables and then just to kind of like play it safe. And then I wait to see what swings we get. And then if it starts to settle, then I'll maybe shrink those targets and those stop losses again. I just like to start out wide in case we see some like really big moves to start things out. So I may shrink those things in a little bit. At the moment, the 3-pip targets are in really good shape. So I'm going to just keep those for now. We hit another target. Then we started at 10,232. So we're already at $40. It's a good start. Yeah, you got to trust your stop losses. Expect those big swings to come in. You definitely need to trust, really place your trust in the system that you have. like for me at the moment, like I'm not saying I'm not going to get a little panicked at some point, but I'm prepared for the market to swing pretty big and come close to my stop losses, and it's just fine. It's just part of the game. And on average, it won't hit the stop losses. Occasionally, it's going to hit them. Get a couple buys in here. But I know on average that my stop losses don't get hit. Target hit. I think that one was a really small target. Like I got kind of weird slippage on it. Yeah, that was only $1.05 rather than $1.50. So it's kind of a bit of a smaller one, but that's okay. Another target hit. And another target hit. See if we can test that little swing high that we hit a few minutes ago. I don't know if it's going to pop up there or not. And we hit that last target too.
solid session with take profits that are just dialed in right now. Just going to put that trade history back on and just have a look and see what we've done. You can see so many of those targets getting hit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, I think. 24, 25 targets. And no need for losses yet. Okay, if it can pull back, probably just get into another buy. Take this tiny pullback. It's not a great spot for the target just yet. But we've got this upward kind of trend. It's like trending consolidation. So if that stays like that, then I'm okay to take a trade in this area. It should still keep moving up. But I do want it to pull back a bunch more. I feel like this press conference has not got the market moving as much as I thought. Like we just had that one little volatility patch, and so far that seems to be it. I don't know if they're still going or if they're finished. I'm not really sure how long those things go. I think it might still be going, and there's more potential for more volatility. All right, gonna buy this dip. It can pull back a little more. I'll get it, buy it again. One more buy. Buy one more time here. One target hit. I'm going to zoom in a little, just make it look maybe a little bit more exciting. It's actually pretty slow. This is a lot slower than I expected. Might be seeing a 3-bar reversal coming in here. See if we can make that turn. Currently have a nadir candle sitting right there. I'm just going to measure that just so we can see how much that moved. That candle was a 5-pip candle. It does feel just a touch slower because I have my take profits wider too, so that kind of does help it feel a bit slower. But it's only a little. I really am expecting some bigger moves. See if we can get it to drop down again. I'll buy it again. When do you know when the trend has ended and switch sides? I have a personal rule that I use to help keep me on the direction of the market. If a market pulls back 20 pips or more, I'm going to draw this on the chart so that I explain it. I'm going to just zoom this out a little. So if I have a market from top to bottom, oh, why is that not drawing? Try that again. What? It's not drawing. There we go. If I get a market that pulls back 20 pips or more, and if that market can't pull back 50%, so if it's in there, or if it's starting to come up to that 50% and it can't quite make it, then that's when I'm pulling out of all my
targets and my profits, and I'm switching. And that's how I switch. So if it runs down 20 pips and it can't make a halfway return on that leg, then I start to switch. So that at that point, and you know that my inverse pyramid sizing, so I'll be stacking heavier at the bottom, taking profits on these little legs, which is enough profit for me to get out at break even or a small profit. And then it allows me that agility to switch and go to the other side. And so that's how I do it. I call it my 20-50 rule. 20 pip or more move and 50%. If it can't make it 50%, then I'm switching. In this case, on a day like today, a 20 pip move may not be enough for me to employ that rule, just because I'm expecting some bigger swings today. But that's my general rule on how I switch sides. Does it make sense? I don't know if that's a good explanation. I think it's decent. You could use like a Fibonacci to measure that 50% as well. Just hitting some more profit targets. Huh. My drawing tools are not really working. Yeah, there we go. So, I nailed that on that 50%. So, yeah, if it started to make it back over the 50%, I would say, okay, I'm still good to stay on the buy side. But if it started to consolidate in here and couldn't quite make it back over, that's when I'm starting to switch over to the other side, to the short side. The 20-50 rule. And I need to clear the chart off a little. It's getting kind of messy. Gonna get out of those trade histories. There we go. We can pull back a little bit more right into here. Take another long. All right, buy that dip. So you're learning to switch sides? Do you have your own way of switching? Like, see, like whatever we do, we define it. Like I define how I switch my trading sides. I've got my 20-50 rule that helps me to switch. You could use like an EMA, a trend line or something to help you switch. There's lots of ways to do it, but we want to define how we do it and then stick to that and do it over and over. All right, gonna see if I can find one more buy in here, kind of right at this little support zone. And this market is still grinding up, so like anywhere through here is still good for this little trend, but it could break here in a few minutes. Yeah, how to draw fibs and how far to let it run and cut trades. Yeah, just define how long,
how far you let your trades run, like use a stop loss, or say like once my trades are getting in the 20 pip range, I just have to cut them off, or oh yeah, getting too heavy and then get caught. You get caught red-handed. It happens to me too. But we need to be disciplined, and like with my stacking system, I gotta like stick to my pyramid, not get too heavy too quick. That is discipline. When we can't stick to that, that's us lacking the discipline. So I'm just kind of blanketing mine right now. I'm not getting too heavy on any stack. I'm going to get into another long here. But I will start to get into heavier stacks as this drops down. All right, just hitting another profit target. And it seems like we're creating a turn on the 1 minute chart. We got a 3-bar reversal here. Let's see if that opens the door for another leg up. If it pops down, I'll just buy it again. Okay, finger on the trigger. Right there. Buy it again. And that target gets it just below that high, which is good. So now if this market starts to move down here, there's another profit target hit. But if it starts to move and break that trend, that's when you'll see me start stacking heavier so that I can take the losses again on the top side. So I'll still play the long side, get some heavier stacks in, and then remove some losses. But right now, this grinding trend is still pretty good, so I'm just gonna let these targets sit for now. If it starts to break it, then I'll start removing those losses. But for now, it's okay. And I'll get ready to buy it up again. It drops down. Okay, one more push down. I can get into it again. I want to make sure that my target's below these highs. If I add into this, we've got this little support zone or resistance zone right in here. And so I want to get another trade in low enough so that my target's below that line. So down here. And it's trying to break through. Here's that nadir candle. And see if this bar can hold above that red line. Just barely did. So that's opening up the door for an up leg. It's a good bullish sign. And it seems to be closing back down. Gonna get ready to buy it up again. I should measure. I don't think it's quite low enough. I want to get below. Yeah, I need to get it down here. I need to get some trades in here. Trying to make a break up again. See if it can do it this time. And we'll see if this bar can close above. There we go. So we got a body close on top of the red line and right over these highs. There's a good signal for it to continue up. Market seems to be kind of stuck in this little mini grind now. See what the 5-minute chart looks like. Just good back and forth on the 5-minute chart. Let's see that range. About a 15 pip range. There's another target. And it looks like the market's trying to gain some momentum now. I think I'm gonna. What time is it? Okay, we got 20 minutes to jolts. But so I guess I should leave my variables a little bit open until then. Just getting tempted to bring my take profit down a little for the next 20 minutes. I might just bring my take profit down because the energy's died out from what we were at. So I want to make sure I can still keep the income flowing in. So I'm going to drop the take profit down back to 2 pips where I usually have it and see if we can keep the income flowing. Okay, any dip, I'm going to just buy it again. Right there. Okay, so now that target comes in at a decent spot. Buy that again. And buy that one more time. And then I gotta just hold because now I'm getting a little on the heavy side. Okay, we got one small bar now on the 1 minute chart. Okay, I'm gonna get into one more. And I'm just gonna put that take profit back up to 3 just so I don't get carried away. One more there, and then if it drops lower, then I'm gonna have to wait and not get too heavy. I'll have to start taking losses off. Starting to round over now, so we'll see what happens.
and I'll just be right back. All right, is it going to make the turn, or we're going to drop down? All right, seems like it's just kind of slowly starting to put pressure down, trying to make that break. And it's kind of sitting right on some highs right now, so I'm going to just buy right here. Try and find a spot where I can get a more significant layer in. Okay, right on the 1.8 level is a good spot. Right there. So I'll get a better stack in here, and then I can be prepared to take some losses off the top. Should get a bounce off this level. Just need it a little bit lower. There we go. 3, I'm gonna get into 4. We can get one more push lower. Just one more. And it's trying to make that turn. Right at that level. So we'll see if it can make that turn off of this candle. Okay, not an official turn. The body closed right, the same as the other body. Although the wick made it just above, so I guess you could barely call that a turn. But with the profit here, I'll take off that upper trade, get rid of that one up there. All right, almost there. Okay, there's a good bull candle to make a turn on the 1 minute chart. So now we should see another candle come through. It's a little bit of profit. There's one target, second one, third one, and then I'm going to take the loss off that. And then we'll just let that sit. See what happens next. And then if it comes down, I'll do that again. Kind of want it to come down again. Getting close to that JOLTS news, so I gotta be aware of that. JOLTS job openings in just over 6 minutes. And that could be a big mover too. So if it pushes down, I'll buy a little bit more. A little bit more. Just needed to push a bit lower. Okay, so now we got to turn to the downside. All right, it's having a hard time making a leg lower. And we got 5 minutes to JOLTS. There's one, there was a push. Okay, get into one trade. I'm going to get into 4, 2, 3, 4. So there's one good layer.
Let's see if it keeps breaking down. Four minutes to the news. And we've got a wick on that last candle. See if we can hit that layer. If I can hit that layer, take off another trade off the top for a loss. Just shave that risk off a little bit, hopefully before the news, if it will. And I think my 2-pip targets would have been better in that case. All right, just 2 minutes to the news. Just in case I'm right, I'm going to take off one take profit out of that bottom stack. And I'm going to get into a little bit more right here. 2. 3. And 4. All right. Just hold there. Now, if this news breaks hard to the downside, I have my equity protection in place at 2% loss. So that's part of my security that I've got, because my stop losses are a little bit far away. And I think I would probably end up stopping out before hitting those stop losses, just because I've got them set at 50 pips right now. "30 seconds to the news." "10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hitting some profit targets. Gonna take off a loss off the top.
negative on the dollar. Oh, it's quite a bit negative. Gonna buy. $6.54 million. Gonna buy. Hitting that little profit stack. Oh, hit one. There's another one. Gonna secure that bottom trade. Gonna buy. Buy again. So I guess nothing too crazy on the job openings, but it's not great for the dollar. Just trying to make a little reversal right now. That this candle right here is, oh, that's the nadir candle at the moment, and it just missed that stop loss, which would be a profit. Okay, trying to break those highs right now. Another target hit. Gonna buy that dip. It's a lot of movement in that one candle, and just closing right on those highs. It's not a very bullish signal. But let's look at that 5-minute chart just for a second. We've got a pretty good bull candle on the 5-minute chart. I'm going to tap that one little trade out for a profit on the downside. I'm going to buy that dip. Buy it again right on that 1.8 level. 2, 3, and then I'll just hold there. Should have taken off a couple more losses on that initial candle. I really thought it'd follow through a bit more, but I was wrong on that. So the next opportunity, I should take some losses off. Trying to grab that arrow, but I can't. Then grab this one. This is now the nadir candle. And just trying to break the trigger for the 3-bar reversal. Just starting to hit some profit. Going to take one loss off the top with that profit. Just to shave off that risk. Now just have 4 trades sitting on there. If it comes down, I'll buy it again. I'm going to buy that little dip. Buy this little dip. And we've got a bullish bar close on the 3-bar reversal. So that's a confirmation. Oh. Okay, closing high, starting to hit some profit targets. And there's some more profit targets. I'm going to shrink my variables back down to 32 pip stop loss. And I'm going to shrink my take profits back down to 2 pips. Sorry, I mean 35 pips stop loss. So now I'm back down to my regular variables on those parameters. Okay, another strong candle. Just creeping up again. Not really going with much energy at the moment. And trying to make the turn down. Gonna get ready to buy. And putting pressure back up on the top side. Got a little line for it to try and break through now with these body. This thing's not drawing too well today. Right on this line right now, trying to push through. Just trying to break past. And if it breaks that, I'm going to just, no, I'm not. I'm going to just move this target. Either I should move it in just a little or out just a little. So I'm going to move it out just a little bit because if it breaks, it should pop up and try these highs over here. If it does, if it wants to. See if I can draw that line back in here. There we go. That's our resistance line at the moment.
And if we can get it to break that, it should pop and at least test these highs. I'm going to just add to that little buy position. I can get my targets below that line. Then I can have the market come back up, and it doesn't have to break to hit that target. I'm going to just add one more. Now I've got a couple below that line. And there's one target hit. And it doesn't have to break that. It just gotta go up and try that line again. There we go. Hit the other one, and now it's got the opportunity to try and break that line. See if we can press through. Now's a good opportunity for it. But we got the profit before having to break that line, which is good. That's what I wanted. If it pops down, I'll buy it again. All right, this candle's holding the upper range of this little consolidation zone now. Okay, it's gonna go down and get ready to buy. Buy. Oh, not quite now, buy it. Okay, that one target was just a little bit high, so I'm gonna bring it in a little. Just gonna bring them both in just a touch. See if we can get them out before it goes up to the top again. I'm just removing one of those targets in case this does pop up. We could see a little bit of follow through. I'm just gonna hang on to one trade if it does. Okay, can try and get to the top again. If it tries, we'll take, there we go, another profit hit. I'm gonna take this one little profit and get that one out of the way, just so it's off the books before we have to break. Then if it comes down, I'll do it again. Okay, almost there. Just need a little push lower, but see how that worked? Like multiple times we hit that line without actually breaking it. So, and we took profit before that. Okay, now I can buy it again. Buy it again. Just gotta bring that take profit in just a tiny bit. And now if it just tests it, we make some money on that leg, on that, just on that little stack. Looks like it wants to run to the downside. Just wait here in case it wants to break and run down here. So we've got a pivot down here, got another pivot here. So will we pivot up from this point? Just add one trade there. I'd like that target a bit lower. Right there, that's a decent spot. So do we make a higher pivot high, or do we break those and come all the way back down? It's trying to break all the way back down, or at least down to this pivot. All right, now we might have a nadir candle. We have one right now, right here. And so if it breaks that high, we got a 3-bar reversal, so back to the upside. There's some profit, a little bit more profit. I'm just gonna buy this little dip on that candle. It's not quite, I need it to be lower, so I'm not gonna do that until it comes down again. A little bit lower. There's one, a good spot. See if it can run back up. Or if we go lower, I'll buy it again. Okay, if I drop, I can buy it. And one more. I'm just gonna hold there in case it wants to break down again.
Oh, never mind.
Okay, I'm getting a little bit heavy in the middle of that zone now. So I gotta start shaving off losses again. If I can get another layer on here. Okay, I'm gonna start adding 1, 2, 'If it pushes down, I'll get up to a 4 in that stack.
Just taking a little profit there. I need to get in a little bit heavier. I'm gonna just buy it again. Buy it here. And if it can pop up, I'll take one of those losses off the top and get those out of there. I really should have been out of those losses when I was trading in this little consolidation area. I should have been taking those off. I wasn't really paying good enough attention. Okay, one more buy, one last one, and then hold. Let's see if we break down. Hey, Vin, yeah. Glad if you learned anything, that's awesome. Looks like it's trying to create a reversal spot. And it is trying to make a break for the downside. Yeah, I should have been out of those trades for this down leg. That news kept me a little bit more biased than I probably should have been because the dollar is just coming back now. And I was a little bit heavier because I thought the the market was a little bit more biased to the euro dollar heading up because the dollar had bad news, but it seems like it's working its way back into strength. So I'm gonna have to be careful here, and then try and start working out of some of those losses.
It kind of feels like this market's going to get away from me, though. The way it's just building strength. It's building to the downsides and starting to accelerate. And it's losing the volatility, the up and down that we had. So that's kind of not looking so good for me. Okay, I'm going to see if I can find another spot to get some trades in, and I got to try and get some of that size off. Okay, I'm going to take a loss with that little bit of profit. If it drops back down, I'll try and do that again. Okay, if it pushes down, I'm going to buy a bit more again and try and get out of more of those upper trades, take losses on them if I can. Okay, as it pushes down, I'm going to buy again. One little target there. Can I get another one? I'm going to buy it again there. Again. And again. Okay, now I got to hold in case it pushes down again. Which I'm kind of thinking it is going to keep pressing down because we haven't really had a good leg in the market. Generally, by this time, we have one. And so I'm kind of thinking it's going to keep going down. If I can get any more profit, I'm going to take another loss or two. Okay, see that leg? That's a 20 pip leg down now. Oh, just tagged a little bit of profit.
two of those targets. See if I can get another push up. Buy. Buy. Okay, I gotta be careful here. It might just break down. Ah, it is breaking down. I'm too heavy. Okay, I'm gonna just have to wait. I think it's probably gonna break that 178, that line there too. Gas storage 360B, not good. Oh yeah, 360 billion. So that's down on the dollar as well. So why is the euro dollar going down with this negative news? Kind of interesting. And then Bostic speaks in 10 minutes. Maybe this will turn into a big whip downside to the left. I mean, a whipsaw to the downside. I don't know. It's a little bit strange considering the news. Let's see. I feel like I'm in trouble. But I have 2% before I lose. So it's about $200 on this account. So it is normal for me to swing this low. And if I have to stop out, stop out.
Just going to buy these little dips. We've got a wick on the 5-minute candle. And a turn here on the 1-minute chart. And then FOMC member Bostic speaks in about 8 minutes. But I don't think it usually does too much when he says things. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. Starting to make that turn. Okay, if I can just take a little more profit, I'm going to get rid of another loss. Okay, get rid of that bad one off the top. At least I've got rid of those ones that were floating way out of range. But these levels are still too heavy. So I'm going to buy again. Buy on these dips again. Okay, buy one more time, and I'm going to hold because it looks like it's going to break down again. Yeah. And then I'm going to get into a heavier position right on that red line and hope that we get a bounce on that one. If it doesn't bounce there, I'm going to be in trouble for sure. And I might want to hold some risk for it to be a whipsaw too. Like if it just shoots past, we could see a whipsaw come in. So I want to save some risk to allow the market to do that. I want it to be able to shoot through that red line and then not have to stop out and have it be able to come back up too. So I'm going to be patient on adding. And any opportunity, I'm going to take off more losses. Man, that one spot up there really tricked me. Right in there, I thought for sure it was going to try and break up from that spot. And it did not. Okay, trying to make a turn on the 1 minute chart. 3-bar reversal confirmed there. Gonna buy that dip just a little bit. See if we can get one more shot at those losses or at those targets. If we can hit those targets, I'm going to take more losses off. Okay, you're just going to take one off the top again. And then if it comes back down, I'll buy it again.
All right, strong bullish candle coming back in. So I'm gonna, if it dips, I'm gonna buy again. Okay. Kind of got this double bottoming pattern coming in right now. So that's actually starting to look in my favor for the moment. And that was a 26 pip run down. And so we'll see if it starts coming back up to this level right in here. My rule is I'm supposed to start flipping. So I'll see what happens as it gets to that level. Okay, and this 1 minute price cycle is, let's just measure that. So that's now almost a 10 pip run back up. So I don't want to be buying up here. I got to wait for it to pull back down into these zones to start buying it again. So now I can just wait and see if it starts to come back up at all, or if we get a pullback. Generally, after 10 pip run, we get a pullback. And it seems like that pullback is just starting. And taking a little bit of profit. Just starting to hit those targets. Okay, hit that little layer. Okay, let's see what that 5-minute chart looks like. Well, a good strong turn on the 5-minute. Let's see what the 15. Okay, 10:55. We got 5 minutes left. And that market is trying to rally back up. That's good. I mean, that's kind of good for me at the moment. I'm going to need that. Just starting to break that on that 15-minute bar. I mean, I'm not trading the 15-minute bar. I'm just trying to get a feel for like whether I start flipping and going to the other side again. So I'm just watching in here closely. Here's the 5-minute chart. A few minutes left on the hour candle. Okay, still pressing up. Okay, now in this case, this should act as some support to the downside. So I will add in back here again just a little if it drops down. Okay, just gonna lightly buy that. Okay, just a few. Okay, we got to close on the hour. That 15-minute bar is actually an engulfing bar on the 15-minute chart. And kind of a not so good close on the 5-minute bar close. Gonna get into another buy right here. Gotta be careful in case this shoots down.
Okay, so any profit I can get, I'm gonna have to take losses again if it gives me any. Well, and that market is slowing down too, so this is gonna be a little bit tricky to try and wobble out of. It's gonna be a little bit tricky. I really need the market to shoot back down for me to get in another buy layer. I can't spend too much capital here because I just don't really have enough. I way overspent up here. And that's the problem when you misallocate. Like I'm not able to spend the money in here where I should be. I should be able to make some profit in here and get rid of my losses, but I overspent, and so I'm not able to do that right here. So now I gotta just wait, and it's not a really good position to be in when you don't have the capital to keep moving. And I'm in a bit of that situation where I'm a little bit stuck. The other thing I could do is take some shorts as well to help start chipping away at the losses. But I'm kind of just, I'm not in a good feel for where it wants to go. Shorting the top of that would have been a good spot. Okay, I'm gonna just try and see where a target lands. And I should have taken more losses up there too, and I didn't, so that was another mistake. Just took one of those targets off for a little profit. I'm gonna need a little bit more to take another loss. And as soon as I can, if I can take off a few losses with these profits, I can become a little bit more agile again. You were checking out a long time ago from these trades and closed out. So good to see you holding on. Well, as you know why though? It's just because it's my rules. I don't stop out for a hard loss until I hit my 2% or I hit my first stop loss. So that's my rule, and I just got to follow that. And as when I close out, the market always goes back to yeah. So I know it's such a difficult thing. So for me, like if I have to stop out on this, then that's just what it is. But until I hit my 2% or a stop loss, I keep going, and I keep trying to wobble my way out so I don't have to hit my stop losses. So we'll see what happens here. If it could just give me a little pop and hit some profit, I'll take another loss. Got to chip away at those losses. Okay, gonna buy that dip. I got to be careful though, because it could just run down from here. It could just break that low and have another leg down. And I don't want to stop out on one more leg. So I got to be careful to not oversize anymore. Okay, there's a little more profit, so I'm going to just take another loss. Draw the account down a little bit. And that just gives me a little bit more longevity in case it runs down. But the market sure has slowed down. Okay, just gonna buy just carefully here a little bit. It's just at a bit of a funny spot. I don't know if it wants to come back down. Like I can't put in a good sized layer right now just because I gotta kind of wait for it to get down here to do that. But it seems like it's making some consolidation and I want to make a little bit of profits in that consolidation. Like I really need to get in heavier stacks, but I just don't have a good spot to really lay into one of those stacks, a bigger stack. So just little, tiny little, tiny little trades, little tiny bits of profit while I wait for it to get to a better spot. If it can go up a little bit, I can take some more losses off, or if it goes down, I can get into a heavier stack.
Okay, taking a little bit of profit there. Okay, I just took a little, I was waiting for it to hit that one last target. It didn't quite get there. Just gonna hold on. If it can run down, I'll buy again into a bigger stack of trades, but not really a good spot to do anything right now. Just have a look at this 5-minute chart. Try to make sense of what's going on. I don't want to like psych myself out, but if this does double bottom, it's kind of doing two rounding bottoms. It could go in my favor, but I gotta still make sure I take my losses where I get the opportunities. But this could give me an opportunity to come back up. Okay, trying to move back up again and up to that recent high. Right in here. It is shaping up to have kind of like a rounding double bottom. But, and then on the other side, this could turn into like an M and a double top, and then a continuation to the downside. So what happens here is going to be pretty critical.
Yeah, this is really, it's not making it up my halfway. So I think I'm about ready to flip. I'm going to just close the rest of the position. Because my rule is if it doesn't make it back more 50% of that 20 pip run, 26 pip run, and it didn't make it halfway yet, it's really struggling to do that. So it's better for me to just take my losses right here. And I think I'm actually still profitable on the session. I can't remember. Did I start at 234? If I lost my my starting balance. Where did it go? I think it was 234. My starting balance is in my Google Docs. I guess I lost it. Okay. I can't remember now if it was 234 or 254. I think I was at 234. You know what? I think I'm going to just call it quits and let it just decide what it wants to do, because I don't have a really good feel other than my one rule. Okay, actually it is starting to shape up. Let's give it a try. Oh, right after I got out. That's okay. I'm going to just see if I can make a little bit more profit back from that loss. I think I'm actually still profitable on the session. Well, let's just see if we can put a little bit more back in the account before I wrap this up. And then we'll see how those rules play out. Was it a good call? Was it not a good call? Did the rules come in favor? And so this is what I'm seeing right now. So we've got that triple top kind of showing up here on the 1 minute chart, and this could be rounding over. Let's see, I was struggling so much to come up and even test this high. The market wasn't able to get there, and it really struggled. Then it triple topped here, and so now our chances are, I think, pretty good to continue to the downside, which is just really confusing with the way the news came through. So much negative news on the dollar, but it's still heading down. Man, I'm kind of bummed that my Google Docs, I lost my starting balance. Larry, if you're still there, do you remember what I said? Was it 234? Now, just got to be careful not to oversize like I did back there.
Okay, just took a little profit. And as this shapes up, I'm going to just leave this one trade on in case this does make a run for the downside. Gonna just carefully build for the downside. And it seems like we're getting some volatility coming back. These candles are moving around. Another rejection candle to the downside on that one. So I think we're seeing the pressure, the technical pressure coming back, pressing on the downside. If I can get it back up to these highs, I'll short it again. Get one in there. And a second one here. And then hold. Just pulling up that 15-minute chart. The recent pressure really is pushed down, especially from this morning. That's quite the rejection. So when we look at the 1 hour, this is really applying a lot more pressure back down to the downside. So I think we're doing a decent job just trying to change with the market. But it will be so annoying if this market just tears back up. But I mean, all the pressure really is down, especially after this morning. Just look at the 4 hour. And depending on how this 4-hour candle closes, it might, well, it would give us more of an indication for sure, but oh, it's coming back up now. Well, it's okay. Just keep playing out my rules. If it heads back up, I can get into another heavier stack up here. And another rejection candle to the upside. Okay, another rejection to the upside. I will be right back.
All right, I'm gonna have to get going. I kind of just ran way over today, and but it is what it is. I got my starting balance was 232, 10,232. So I'm gonna try and just see if I can get back up to that now that the market's running away from me again. But I'm gonna have to head out today, guys. If you're still there, thank you for hanging in as long as you did. I will still probably post how I finish up a little bit later, and just keep doing the same thing over and over. And but I'll be back on tomorrow. So have a great rest of your day. Yep. Thanks, Larry. Thanks a bunch, Vin. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you tomorrow.